What's up, everybody? This is Abroad with the Burrells, channel for travelers by travelers. And today we are going to be reviewing Scotland. Scotland was just magnificent.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Every single location we went to was just, you felt like you were in a movie.
Definitely one of the most beautiful places that I've ever visited in terms of just the landscape and just the scenery, just the natural wonders. It was just incredible. When we were in Scotland, we actually rented a car.
Yes.
And we drove through the countryside quite a bit. Renting a car in Scotland is the way to go. We highly recommend renting a car to get around to see the countryside.
Yes.
So our first stop, we flew into, as the Scots say, and I'm gonna try my best here, Edinburgh.
Yeah, good job.
Edinburgh, I hope it's a good job.
Looks like Edinburgh.
Yeah, it looks like Edinburgh, but the Scots pronounce it Edinburgh. And
good job.
I'm trying. So we flew into Edinburgh. That was our first day, and we were there for a few days. And then from there, we drove up to...
No, we took a train.
We took a train. Sorry, thanks, honey. We took a train up to Inverness.
Yes.
And it was beautiful.
And then in Inverness, we rented a car, ended up driving out to the Isle of Skye.
Yes.
And then looped back around with the car and went back to Edinburgh. His accent's much better than mine, you can tell. And dropped off the car in Edinburgh and flew home.
I know there's other places to see in Scotland. I've heard many people talk about Glencoe and Oban and even Glasgow.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the time to get to those places. So the places that we did go to, we'd love to tell you about them. We don't have any regrets on the trip.
No.
So we will start with Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, we stayed at the Apex Grassmarket Hotel, which is in the Grassmarket neighborhood. Really, really cool place to stay. Like lots of pubs. It's like, kind of like a little strip with all these different pubs and little shops up the street. And then literally you walk out of our hotel and you see the Edinburgh Castle, which was a really cool view.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just completely amazed with the location. We're like, wow, the hotel location is just like really, really cool. And if you are up for doing like a bus tour, a lot of them took off from nearby where we were staying. So it was pretty central to everything we needed.
It was great for also at night. They would have a lot of music and dancing at the spots that were just right across the street from the hotel.
One of the places that we went on one of our very first days was the Edinburgh Castle.
Yes.
We saw it from our hotel, but then we ended up actually going there, and it was so cool. It was like its own little city. You
arrive basically at the castle. It's kind of a long line, so you want to get there early if you can. It's going to be at the top of the Royal Mile. And then once you get there, they have free guided tours, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they take you through. If you've ever been to London, and you go to like the Tower of London, and there they have the Yeoman Warders that kind of walk you through the history and what you're looking at. They do that as well at the Edinburgh Castle, and they do a really good job with it. And the views from the top are wonderful. I mean, you can get great panoramics of the city from up there.
So he mentioned the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile is super cool. It's about a mile long, and it's shops and pubs, and it's a really poppin' place to be. One end of it, you have the Edinburgh Castle, and then a mile later down the road, you run into HOLYROOD Palace. The
King and Queens of the Scots stay there, and then Queen Elizabeth II will come and stay there like a week out of the year or something like that. We actually, one of the reasons we chose to go to Scotland is because Jamie's family line traces back to Scotland.
Yeah, so my maiden name, I was looking for the tartan of my family, and my last name actually happened to be a smaller clan, so they didn't have anything in store, but it was really cool being able to go in and see like all this heritage, you know. I have some Scottish roots on my mom's side as well, so I was able to find the tartan from one of those clans.
Also, if you're in Edinburgh, we highly recommend doing Arthur's Seat.
Oh yes.
Yes, this is really cool. It's like a mountain hike just on the outside of the Royal Mile.
So basically, it's a cliff, but it plateaus. So you take the hike up there. It's just gorgeous view.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And just a beautiful hike. You know, everything's very lush and green in Scotland. After our stay in Edinburgh, we took a train to Inverness.
Yes.
And we are big fans of the show Outlander.
Outlander.
So we had to go to Inverness. We ended up staying at the Dunhallen House Bed and Breakfast.
Yes.
The woman who hosted us, her name's Margaret, and she was very, very hospitable.
She was wonderful.
So there's your keys. That's your front door key.
Okay.
Bedroom.
Great.
Wow.
Breakfast menu. So if you can the night before, can you tick off what you would like?
Yes.
And just leave this on the table as you come in the front door.
Great.
Sure.
There's tea and coffee there. Do you take milk? I'll go get you some fresh milk if you want. Tea.
Yeah.
I'll take coffee.
Yeah? Yeah, I'll go get you some milk. And there's a little fridge in there so you can pop in.
Thank you.
Yes.
Just so kind. She treated us so nice. She had the most adorable accent.
Better than his.
Way better than mine, because mine is terrible.
Aye.
Here we
And
go.
we're off.
And we're off.
Tripsing around Scotland. We're tripsing around this evening. It's the craziest place in the world.
Do you know where you're going?
Going for a wee dram.
It was just a cozy place.
Yeah, so each room, you walk in, you have your own bathroom, own little sitting area, like little love seat couch with a TV, internet worked, great. And downstairs where we ate, it's just super cute. Everything was really nice and clean, and it was just, we would definitely stay there again.
Yes.
The downtown area of Inverness is so cute, like so cute. I just was walking around like, can you believe this place? It was so cute.
It's nice. Quaint stone bridges and
all the buildings were like brick.
The buildings are brick.
While we were there, we ate at a restaurant called Number 27. It was really great place.
Yes.
The service there was super good. They were very accommodating. Just really helpful.
Yeah.
We walked out of there. You got the lamb, remember?
Of course, I always get the lamb.
This guy.
Yeah, but the food was delicious. It was, honestly, just being honest about it, it was one of the best meals that we had in Scotland, if not the best.
Yeah. So in Inverness, that's where you would find the Loch Ness.
Yes.
The giant lake where the Loch Ness
Monster
lives.
We actually saw.
Yeah, we did.
We actually saw we actually saw the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh my goodness, it's the Loch Ness Monster.
If you're going to visit the Loch Ness from Inverness, we highly recommend going down to Fort Augustus.
Yeah.
It's at the southern tip of Loch Ness, and if you take your tour from there, you're able to tour the entire loch. The other tours you can take in various spots, but they're sort of in the middle of the loch. If you start down at Fort Augustus, you can take the super long tour and see the whole thing because the loch is humongous.
You can also do a shorter one where they don't go the whole span.
Yes.
Because the whole span is actually about 20 miles.
Yeah.
We did not do the whole span of the lake because our time was limited.
Right.
So we did a shorter version, but we still saw a good chunk of it.
Now they say that the misadventures are the best adventures sometimes, and we actually found that to be true.
We did.
So on our way down to Fort Augustus, we took a wrong turn and we ended up on the east side of the loch.
Yeah.
Okay, which we highly recommend if you're driving from Inverness to Fort Augustus, drive on the eastern side of the loch.
And you get to do it with intention.
Yes. The views are astounding.
What would have been like maybe an hour drive took us like 3 hours because we were stopping so much to just get out and like, can you believe what we're looking at?
We were just gawking at the beauty around us. And the thing is, when we took that drive, we ended up taking so long, we got down to Fort Augustus late and we missed the tours. So the next morning, we drove back down on the western side of the loch. And that's when we discovered that the views on the western side were nowhere near as nice as the eastern side. It was just a hidden gem that we found that we sprinkle onto all of you and highly recommend The eastern side down to Fort Augustus it's incredible.
Yes. Once you get to Fort Augustus, it's just so cute.
Yeah.
I say that a lot.
You do.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It's true.
And we also went to the Clawdon Battlefield,
Oh.
which is a big part of the Outlander show. And so
history.
Yeah. Well, on top of that. Yeah.
If you know anything about the Jacobite Rebellion, that is where the Jacobites, led by Bonnie Prince Charles, led one of, I think it was their final battle against the British Army, and were soundly defeated there. But you can actually visit that battlefield and just kind of see some of the headstones memorializing the clans that fought there.
It's preserved now for people to go.
We actually really enjoyed it. Just enjoyed the stroll and the walk, and kind of getting that sense of being in a place where, you know, a special part of history took place.
Right. The Isle of Skye.
Oh man.
Which is an island off of Scotland.
Yeah.
And
well, before we even got to the Isle of Skye, there's a lot of beauty just on the journey there.
Yeah.
Also, a nice little gem, a nice little treat. On the way to Skye, you're gonna pass Eileen Donan Castle.
Yes.
It's right on the side of the road. You can't miss it. It's just it'll immediately like take your breath away. Like, oh my goodness, there's a castle right on the edge of the lake there. And it's worth the stop. Do the stop and do the tour.
So we pulled over, went in that. Just really, really interesting to see how people were living, you know. And there's still a family that stays there, but they're not there all the time.
Yeah.
But after visiting there, we continued our ventures down to the Isle of Skye. We stayed at the Cullen Hills Hotel, which was
in Portree.
Yes.
Or Portree. I don't know if we don't know if it's pronounced Portree or Portree.
I think it's Portree.
Okay.
He thinks it's Portree. So
if you know, please put that in the comment section.
But anyway, we stayed in Portree. Really, really nice hotel.
Yes.
It's probably one of the nicest ones there,
yes.
right? Like a lot of like smaller places, bed and breakfast as well. But this one just kind of stood out and is more by itself, a little isolated.
Up on a hill, overlooking the beautiful colored buildings right at the dock there in Portree.
Service was great, and they had this huge fireplace. And again, like we said, we were there with, you know, colder weather. But like a couple nights, we literally just got a glass of wine, sat in front of the fire, and it's just kind of an open room for all the guests. And, you know, you meet people, we're just having this conversation.
We have to add, the Isle of Skye was personally my favorite leg of the trip. That's the place where if we had to do it all over again, I would definitely stay there an extra 2 days, because the Isle of Skye is the place of adventure.
Yeah.
It's the Scottish Highlands. It's got all types of wonderful waterfalls and pools and trails and hikes and mountains, and it's an adventurer's dream. If you want to feel like you've gotten away to a magical place and you're exploring this foreign land, Skye is definitely it.
Yeah. One of the days we hiked up to the Old Man of Storr, which where we really felt like, oh my gosh, we're hiking in the Highlands. Like, this is what it feels like.
We did the fairy pools. It's an area kind of nestled in the foothills of these mountains. It's just like a series of lagoons and cascading
like
waterfalls.
Color.
Yeah, clear emerald colored. And you know, it's even possible to jump in there and take a swim if you like, but we were there in October and it was cold and a little rainy, so we didn't do that.
Isle of Skye was a great way to sort of wrap up the trip. You know, being able to relax in front of the fire and stuff like that was really nice. The haggis.
So for those of you that don't know, haggis is a traditional Scottish dish.
Kind of like a meatloaf, kind of.
Yeah, but it's made from very different stuff than a meatloaf.
Yeah. And we were encouraged to try it because it's one of the traditional dishes there, but we were not
too crazy about it.
By it. So we wouldn't order it again. But it might be something you enjoy. Scotland has the best fish and chips.
We are of the opinion
no, it is a fact.
You're hard pressed to find better fish and chips anywhere in the world outside of Scotland.
So good.
Incredible.
So good.
Large chunks of haddock with peas and fries
and let me tell you, this guy has a fish allergy. Not shellfish, regular fish. And he had fish and chips
Couldn't stop eating it.
like everywhere we went.
Yeah.
Scotland is known for its whiskey, which is really Scotch. Scotch is just Scottish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
And there's a big raging debate there too between the Scots and the Irish about who produces better whiskey.
Yeah.
You'll have to taste that. We're not really whiskey connoisseurs.
Yeah, we're not big whiskey drinkers,
Yeah.
but it's a unique taste, and
Yeah.
it's definitely something you should try.
Yeah, rent a car.
Rent a car.
Yes.
And
This gives you all types of access to the, to Scotland as a whole.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Broadford, which is in the Isle of Skye, there is a restaurant that we had to give a shout out to. It's called the Claymore.
Yeah. Hands down, the best fish and chips in England and in Scotland
Everywhere.
that we had tried. Yeah.
Yes.
They also had the Isle of Skye red ale.
Ale. That was the best cask ale beer I've ever had in life. In my life. I've gone everywhere to try to recreate that experience.
We got home and he started Googling how to get a case shipped over
Yeah.
here.
It was just creamy and frothy and just ridiculous. So that wraps up our review of the beautiful country of Scotland. Those are our experiences from our point of view. Hopefully the things that we shared with you will help you to avoid some pitfalls or steer you in the direction of a lot of things that you will enjoy. If you want to see the actual video of our trip to Scotland, just click the link that has popped up somewhere in this direction. Make sure to watch the actual video. It's a lot of fun. We had a great time making it. So from our family, the Burrells, to you, we encourage you guys to hit the road, get out there,
and make it happen.
Yes.
Have fun.